The hand-painted sign at the corner of Maple and Birch read, "Yard sale, 1 day only." I didn't need anything, but I had time to kill and a weakness for cheap trinkets. It was early autumn, the air crisp and the sky a steely gray that hinted at rain. Perfect weather for bargain hunting. The house was older, its wood siding faded and peeling. A crooked picket fence surrounded a yard cluttered with folding tables, boxes of dusty books, and an assortment of mismatched furniture. A few other shoppers milled around, but the place had an odd stillness to it. No chatter, no kids running around. Just an unnatural hush, broken only by the occasional shuffle of feet. The woman running the sale sat in a weathered rocking chair near the porch. She was skeletal thin, her pale skin stretched taut over sharp cheekbones. Her gray eyes followed me with a gaze that felt too heavy for someone I'd never met. "See something you like?" she asked, her voice dry like the rustling of dead leaves. I gave her a polite nod and wandered to a table filled with old knickknacks. A porcelain doll with a cracked face stared blankly back at me. Its eyes were a chilling shade of blue, almost human. I shuddered and moved on, but I could feel those tiny eyes watching me as I walked away. Then I saw it, a small wooden box, intricately carved with strange symbols I didn't recognize. It wasn't big, maybe the size of a jewelry box, but it seemed heavier than it should. Something about it drew me in. The moment my fingers touched the smooth wood, a chill ran through my body, and the air around me seemed to grow colder. "How much for this?" I asked, holding up the box. The woman's eyes narrowed, and for the first time her lips curved into a thin, unsettling smile. "For you? $10. It felt wrong somehow, too cheap for something so intricately made. But I couldn't resist. I handed over a crumpled 10 and she placed the box in a paper bag with almost reverent care. "Be careful with that," she said as I turned to leave. "And don't open it after midnight." I chuckled nervously. "Sure thing." As I drove home, the box sat on the passenger seat, an almost tangible weight in the car. I tried to shake the feeling, telling myself it was just my imagination. Once home, curiosity got the better of me. I placed the box on my coffee table and studied the carvings. They seemed to shift when I wasn't looking directly at them. My fingertips tingled as I traced the patterns, and a faint hum, like distant whispers, seemed to come from within. I found something very real. I debated opening it, but the old woman's words echoed in my mind. "Don't open it after midnight." What would happen before midnight? I waited until 11:45. By then the whispers were louder, though still indistinct. They felt alive, urging me, daring me to lift the lid. At 11:59 I couldn't take it anymore. My hands trembled as I opened the box. Inside was a single object, a tarnished brass key, and the whispers stopped, replaced by a suffocating silence. The air in the room grew thick, heavy. Then I heard it, the faint creak of footsteps coming from the hallway. But I was done. My heart pounded as I stood, the key clutched in my hand. The footsteps grew louder, closer. I turned toward the sound and my breath hitched. A shadow stretched across the wall, tall, twisted, and wrong. It wasn't mine. The lights flickered, and the shadow grew darker, more solid. My ears filled with a deafening hum as the thing emerged, a figure with hollow, glowing eyes and a gaping mouth that seemed to scream without sound. "Go ahead!" I ran, clutching the key in the box. I don't remember much after that, just cold air, darkness, and the feeling of being chased. I woke up the next morning on my couch, the box and key on the floor beside me. The symbols on the box were gone, the wood plain and unremarkable. But the key had changed, its brass surface now blackened and warm to the touch. I tried to return it to the yard sale, but when I went back, the house was empty. No tables, no sign, no skeletal woman in a rocking chair, just a faded "for sale" sign swinging in the wind. I don't know what I unlocked that night, but I can feel it watching me. And every night since, at exactly 11:59, I hear footsteps in the hallway.